There was all-encompassing cross-pollination between government agencies, private contractors, and narrative-controlling media, with all of these players engaging in criminal acts to achieve a criminal outcome. This was an all-out, ongoing, full-court press criminal conspiracy, full stop. As more and more information comes to be released, information that only the deep state had controlled before Trump won in November, it's clear there was a coordinated effort, a far-reaching, expansive effort, beyond just a normal conspiracy, to prevent and then destroy Trump's presidency, first term. In fact, it was so extensive, so involved, so far-flung, even stretching to Europe, that serious discussion is now being had in the Trump administration that this entire scandal, everything these guys engaged in, just might be a RICO case. We're going to go through some of this for you here. Now, RICO stands for the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organization Act. It's a federal law that provides for extended criminal penalties for acts performed as part of a larger ongoing criminal organization or enterprise. And it's much more than just a conspiracy. A conspiracy is not necessarily illegal. It depends on whether the goal of the conspiracy is illegal or the actions taken to achieve that goal are criminal, illegal, and they involve ongoing participation by various people on an ongoing basis, sort of a continuity to it. In a nutshell, that pretty much is the foundation for a RICO case. So, when you're looking at RICO, some key questions emerge whether a prosecution can make the case or not. First, was the goal of the conspiracy criminal? Next, were the methods employed criminal? The individual acts, were they criminal? All in service of a larger criminal goal, of course. And were the same actors acting across various groups that would normally be somewhat unrelated to each other? Were they in regular cooperation as an enterprise? The RICO law was established in 1970 to prosecute the Mafia families that checked every single one of those boxes. Drugs, extortion, prostitution, killings, all of it. Up until RICO was passed, the courts could not only they couldn't really nail mobsters only on individual crimes. They didn't have the legal ability to treat individual crimes like homicide, drugs, extortion, all that stuff as part of a single, larger, all-encompassing crime with individual elements and actors. RICO made that possible, and it was used to shut down or drastically curtail many of those mafia crime families, like the Gambino crime family, for example. So question, how is it that what Obama, who directed all of this like a mafia boss and all his other actors did, not like a mafia crime family? Many far-flung actors in various capacities and roles, all doing illegal shite to bring about an illegal outcome. The answer is, it's exactly the same. So, level a RICO case against them all. That's what's being discussed right now in D.C. What RICO does is allow for even stiffer penalties for illegal conspiratorial actions and goals than just penalties for individual crimes. It's kind of like, this is what everybody complains about, this whole hate crime thing. Like, you do something bad and then they put on top of it a hate crime, which extends the abilities. It really is like that. It's like taking a hate crime and adding it on to an already existing homicide charge, for example. You not only get sentenced for the homicide, then you get more time, more penalty for it being a hate crime. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi, she publicly announced that she has formed what she's termed a strike force, that's a cool name, strike force, to investigate what Tulsi Gabbard is turning over to the DOJ. And that team, Bondi and Tulsi, that's a duo that's keeping Team Obama up at night. You can bet on that. It's the stuff of nightmares for them. And all of those documents being turned over from Tulsi over to Pam, over to Bondi, Tulsi to Pam, Tulsi to Pam. That's only part of the story. There are dozens of whistleblowers who were, sort of mid-level guys in the middle of all of this stuff when it was all going on. They're now whistleblowers. They're coming out of the woodwork. And they're spilling even more beans about all of the corruption going on. Bondi's Department of Justice, which ultimately is also Trump's Department of Justice. There's a thin wall between him and her, but, you know, it's still his Department of Justice. He appoints whoever the Attorney General is. They're taking their time to build an absolute airtight case. Obama orchestrated and led a criminal conspiracy. It was criminal because its goal was criminal: to prevent peaceful transfer of power, undermine credibility of 2016 election outcome, and justify prosecutions or delegitimization of incoming officials. That was the goal. His conspiracy was an enterprise, an association of relationship and continuity among the intelligence community, the judicial community, private contractors, and the media, 4 different kind of large sets of players. The crimes committed, which individually feed back into the collective goal, which is, of course, a crime in itself, they include perjury, lying to the courts, secret surveillance of private U.S. citizens, cooperation between government and private sources, again, in the commission of a crime. And there are many other things there besides just those. It has all the requirements. All of this taken as a whole has all of the requirements to be prosecuted as a federal RICO case. There was all-encompassing cross-pollination between government agencies, private contractors, and narrative-controlling media, with all of these players engaging in criminal acts to achieve a criminal outcome. This was an all-out, ongoing, full-court press criminal conspiracy, full stop. Coming to you from Houston, Texas, I'm Gary Michael Voris. God love you.